What's up, guys? Welcome to the All About Podcast. My
Hi,
name's
guys.
Kyle. It's Patrick, and here's Will again.
How's it going?
He's back. We brought him back. So let's.
He qualified.
He did qualify for the next round of Around the Ball. So let's get into the news right away.
So did you qualify in aggregate or like normal qualification? Like easy like
you don't get your news first. Will,
CONMEBOL qualification or like European qualification?
Well, that's an interesting topic, but for another day.
You're
Probably CONMEBOL because it's really easy. Okay.
Oh my
Moving
goodness.
My news story today would be the FIFA proposal of a World Cup every 2 years. According to the FIFA president, it is what the younger generation wants, but we all know it's more about the 4.4 billion profit figure. Thoughts on this? Players' health?
I mean, they keep talking about it, and it's just kind of silly. Like, I feel like it would lose its... Like, I feel like the World Cup is so special because it's so rare. You know what I mean?
As soon as they brought in those, like, the money figures that they'll make every 2 years, it's like, it's already going to happen. I mean, I don't know if it's going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen.
But it's more likely. All those, the executives, their eyes light up with the money signs, in their eyes, and just like, money. And then it's just like...
Dude, the players are going to, like, not be able to play.
I don't think any players want it. I don't think any fan really wants
Imagine
it.
what Jurgen Klopp's going to say. That guy likes to speak out. And I'm just like... And he's right.
Well, it won't matter when every other player has a torn ACL.
No, exactly.
From just
we're going to see the U16s playing in the World Cup.
Yeah, we will. So,
it's just like...
I don't know. They keep talking about it. But, like... You see what's going on with like UEFA and CONMEBOL kind of combining, and they want to do that. That's basically like a big FU to FIFA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like
and good is what I have to say to that. Because
the two biggest federations.
Why? Let's be honest here.
Coming together.
If you had a tournament, Europe and South America, or the World Cup, what's gonna have better competition?
I mean, yeah.
Europe versus South America. You're taking out the useless. No, that's horrible to say, but like, I don't mean useless guys, but
the small.
What really?
Moldova.
Oh, Mexico, United States, scary, shiver me timbers.
I still prefer the World Cup. I still like seeing all the countries, but every 2 years we'll kill it. Completely.
It will kill it. It's not the special like effect from it.
Not only does it take away the anticipation and like the whole you have to wait for it and it just makes it better. Same thing with everything. If you wait for it, it seems better when it gets there. But like, what's gonna happen to the Euros and the Copa America?
The players do not have vacation.
Like every year,
they
players don't get a break.
Yeah.
If something happens like COVID, like no one expected COVID, that made that one off season. It was like a month. It was ridiculous.
These
players can't recover. They can't I don't know if these executives know what it's like to be like a player at this level. So they don't care. They don't want to listen to them.
According to FIFA, they'll hold the continental tournaments they'll be sandwiched in every odd year. Like, according to them, that won't work at all.
That's not gonna happen. I don't know. That's
and for me,
there needs to be a big uproar from players and coaches and clubs mainly because they have the money, they have the say. They have the say. They have the power to say something.
Fans as well. I mean,
because fans had something to say in the Super League, but I think it's especially when the players and the coaches actually said spoke out. That's when it really took it to the next level. The executive's like, okay. Well, maybe,
It's the club's decision whether the player can go on international duty or not. If they say no, then the player cannot go. Right. They have the power to say yes or no.
Like they can hold them, yeah.
FIFA's on thin ice. I mean, they almost lost everything with the Super League. They got lucky. There was a fan uproar. But, I mean, this is, like you said, UEFA, they'll partner with all the other confederations. They'll make something.
FIFA needs to be very careful what they're doing here.
The thing I don't like is the people like Arsene Wenger that are for this. Like, he of all people should know that, like, how detrimental this would be. Did he go back on his opinion or no? I don't remember. As of right now, I think he's still for it. But
he's like the main man for it. But
I remember.
It's completely money-driven. I mean,
I don't know.
It's just everything. The passion, the meaning of qualifying, getting there every 4 years.
Well, that's the most important thing for me, is the fact that the trophy is no longer as prestigious.
Right. Because
it's every 4 years. Like, in a player's career,
exactly.
You can, honestly, the maximum amount of times you can maybe play in it 4 or 5 times.
5 if you're insane.
Five if you're insane. 4 if you're
Buffon.
insane.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
16 years. That's a long career still.
16 years, exactly.
Right.
That's insane. So basically, like, most players will play, I feel like, the
2,
average
3
player,
World Cups.
2, 3, 4.
If you're at the top level.
If top level of 4.
16 years of international duty.
So that's a lot. So then you lower that, like, it's not as important. Like, it's not as important if you win
The
it,
excitement,
I guess.
the excitement just dies.
The excitement 100% dies. It's like you wait
and
patiently
you gotta also
for 4
think
years.
about, like, host nations. If they keep doing what they're doing with these Qatars and the Russias that don't have the facilities to host, if they keep giving these nations, then they're going to ruin more economies. They're going to have to build these stadiums that don't get used, and they have to...
That's a whole different debate.
I wrote a whole paper on it. I mean, it's just like
the biggest issue with that was in Brazil. Brazil should never have hosted that World Cup.
Well, yeah. I mean,
because the stadiums are just rotting away currently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they use stadiums like don't have use after. At least with Qatar, I think they're making the stadiums like...
Oh, they're brand new. Like, they're going to be used by the clubs there.
Yeah, and then also I think there's like... I might be wrong, but I feel like there was something where you can like deconstruct the stadium and use it for something else is what they were trying to do.
Oh, yeah, for multiple like events, which is a smart thing you can do.
But
hopefully. Learn from their mistakes in Russia and Brazil.
I still don't think it should be in Qatar, but that's different.
Nobody thinks it should be there.
It's ridiculous.
Okay, well, so what's your news then?
My news, Rafinha is closing on a deal to Bayern for 60 million euros. Obviously, Liverpool are, they want him as well, but Bayern are increasing their interest.
If I'm Rafinha, I go Bayern.
If I'm Rafinha, you're choosing between Liverpool and Bayern? I don't know.
I go Bayern.
You have I don't know if you have more of a chance of starting at Bayern, but you have a more chance of being rotated in because Liverpool have a pretty set front three. They don't change a whole lot, unless it's like a cup game or a low Champions League game.
He's not getting in over Salah, is he?
Right, exactly. Salah. He's on the right, so he's not going over Salah unless he's injured. You have a chance of getting in over Sane and Gnabry, but that's that's
the thing to look at as well. Sane, he's been playing in the middle.
Really?
He has been playing in the middle, and he's been
as a cam or a striker.
As a attacking midfielder. He's been like against Barca. He basically played in the middle against them and was fantastic. So Coleman, Gnabry on the left, Sane middle with Muller, and then like Rafinha rotating on the right sometimes. I don't know. You get guaranteed fighting for every trophy with Bayern every year, no matter what. With Liverpool, the Prem is much more. You're fighting, but like it's very rotating.
You have to be on top.
Who knows? In 4 years, Liverpool might not be competing at the same level again. I mean,
a couple.
What was it like before Klopp came? Right. They were struggling a lot.
They were not up there.
So you never know. I think that he goes. Exactly. I would go Bayern over Liverpool personally.
Yeah, and he's in a good spot in his career where he can take that next step and be a game changer at a top club.
Right.
I think he's got the talent for it. He's putting up the numbers. He's carrying Leeds on his back.
Very talented.
The thing is, what happens to Leeds when he leaves? They're gone. They're out of the Prem.
They have nobody.
They're not staying in the Prem.
It's going to be very difficult for them.
Yeah. You think he's worth 60 mil? To a Bayern?
No, but like,
I'd say more 40, but in today's game, that's it.
Right. But it's kind of whatever Leeds wants to charge.
I would agree, like 40-ish around there, but Leeds, if it's January market. I don't know when his contract's ending.
Yeah, I don't know. Bayern aren't going after a lot of other people too, so it's kind of like their big move.
Exactly. So
if it works for them, sure.
60's a lot though.
It is a lot. All right, what you got for us?
So this actually happened today. I don't think you guys know about this. You can. It's some Arsenal news, but Arteta tested positive with COVID today.
Oh, really? Wow.
Which is huge.
That's horrible.
Because he won't be there for the City game on New Year's Day. We don't know how long he'll be out for, and he's from what I can tell, he's extremely important to the players. He's very active on the touchline. He's always looking at everything, yelling at things to be fixed. And my worry is there's a possibility this can ruin our run. Yeah. I'm not saying I'm expecting us to beat City. My expectation should be to compete. I'm not expecting us to win or even get a draw, but like I said, to compete. But the fact that he's not going to be there is going to be huge. Hopefully he only misses the City game because after City we have Tottenham.
You need to win that.
We need to win that game. That is a must win.
Tottenham are looking better as well.
They are. We need to win that for the fight for top 4 is what needs to happen. And Conte's been, sneaky Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty. Before the Southampton game, which they just drew yesterday, they had 14 out of 18 points possible.
Wow.
In the Prem, which is crazy.
That's a good run.
That's insane, and nobody's talking about it. So they're just slowly making their way up into the top 4. So everybody needs.
Obviously,
to be
they don't play flashy. They just kind of
get the result.
It's what Conte does.
And if I'm correct, I think they still have games in hand.
They have.
They do. They have
two games in hand on us.
Yeah.
And one of them is Burnley. I know.
I think one of them is Liverpool actually as well.
Is it Liverpool? No, they played Liverpool.
I thought they
played Liverpool. There was that crazy game, possibly game of the season.
Yeah.
With the games in hand thing, I'll say it like this: I always rather have my points on the table than have games in hand, because you look at it.
Of course.
They couldn't beat 10-man Southampton yesterday.
It's Brighton and Leicester.
Oh.
And Burnley. They have 3 games.
3.
Burnley, Brighton, and Leicester.
Leicester's not an easy game. They beat Liverpool yesterday.
Yeah. I guess
they beat Liverpool.
They're on and off.
They came back against City.
They've been losing against some shitters though.
I think they're gonna have a bounce back. You can't lie. They gave you a game against you guys. You conceded 3 goals just like that. That's crazy.
It was.
So
our defense was shocking. I can't even lie.
They were solid against Liverpool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Liverpool couldn't do anything.
Clean sheet.
So,
so,
like I said,
so back with Arsenal, I think it's underrated about how important Arteta has been for you guys. You look at the turnaround from the beginning of the year. I think it's 100% Arteta just actually pulling it into gear.
Oh, I think so too.
And I give him full props. I'm as a City fan, I'm proud of seeing him turning around, because people were calling him for his job last year. They were calling for his head.
This year they were calling for his head.
Yeah, the beginning. Exactly.
So,
and it's
his job to prove his points,
right.
Prove that he belongs where he does, and
he
show
can
us.
Do it.
If he competes, against City, and gets a result against Tottenham,
right.
I'm convinced we get top 4. If that happens,
I don't see anything stopping.
I don't see us
unless
slowing
Tottenham
down.
Turns insane or United turns it around. Which
but if we
United are in shambles.
Well, like I said, with the points thing, they couldn't beat 10-man Southampton yesterday. Tied 1-1.
They have 3 goals allowed.
Leicester, Brighton. It happens. Listen, with the VAR thing, goes around, comes around. Right. You can look at our games from the past year with VAR. You could look at every team.
Well, yeah,
you got games and points taken away from you, and you got gifted games as well. Yeah. So it happens.
Right. So yeah,
we'll see. We will see. Interesting times are ahead of us.
As a non-Arsenal fan, I really hope he comes back soon for you guys. So obviously you're not a threat to us, but I really think you guys have been doing well and deserve at least a top 6 spot.
I think top 6 is cemented.
I hope so.
Top 4 is what the fight is about. So